How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. So we are here on the Forerunner server. That's because we were on Ray's account. So let me show you that quickly. You'll see I've pulled up the Infernal Blast. More on that momentarily. But here we go. A nice, very kind of low-key account here. Only 9 million BP. Not the strongest account. He's only #1 in the world in Tide. It is what it is. Now, it's a beastly account. Thank you, Ray, for letting me hop in this thing again. Back to the Infernal Blast. We are talking about 2 Infernal Single-Target Mages stacked right on top of each other, and they are both on this weekend's banner in Global, on the Global server, right? We've got Anai and we've got Imani, a legendary and an epic. Here they are kind of stacked on top, but we want to kind of stack them like this because they are going head to head. We are going to do a guild boss battle. Going to do the same team comp except for swapping one out for the other. We'll start with Anai, then we'll do Imani. They are both in tremendous top 1 in the world endgame gear. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see who comes out on top.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
All right, guys, here we are in Nightmare 4. Of course, we're taking on Nightmare 4 with Ray's account. It is a deadly account indeed. Big thank you to Ray, not only for letting us use his account, but letting us spend 200 diamonds to buy a new rune. He already did his guild boss battles for the day, but because I already spent 200 diamonds on a rune, I'm not going to buy 2 runes. So just so you know, before we get into the test, I will do full runs, and with 3 seconds left in the battle, I will cancel the battle so as not to waste the rune for him, right? I don't want to waste... He has a lot of diamonds, but that doesn't mean I want to waste some willy-nilly if we don't have to. We'll look at the stats, we'll see how they do, and we will compare. So up first is going to be Anai. I thought we could gear her together, and I want to show you how well I intend to gear her. All right, so we're going to go to gear. We can take all this off. It doesn't matter. We're going to go to swap, and we are going to give her the same gear that Ray's A5, absolutely gorgeous, pay-to-win skin, hot sit, 101 BP, hot sit. She's going to exactly the same gear. This gear synergizes extremely well with Anai. You know, Anai has a very low ult cost. She's perfect for Soulbound Arcana. She's going to try to get as many burns off from her basic attack, so we want a lot of attack speed. And then you can see sky-high crit damage, crit capped, very nice attack, perfect for Guild Boss. So we went very heavy in the crit damage. That's what you want to see for Guild Boss. Let's throw Hot Sit's gear on. Let's also go to Artifacts just to show you that we're not going to slack there either. I want to get the fully built Tear of Twilight. It's currently on Twin Fiend for this fight. I'll put it all back when I'm done just to clean everything up for Ray. I'll put all the gear and everything back. I really appreciate him letting me do this. She will get the Tear of Twilight. We'll go over to Twin Fiend, and we will get Iax Rage on him. I don't know what they renamed this, but we'll take the Iax Rage off of Comet. We'll put it on Twin Fiend. Heaven's Rage now. Quite interesting, worth mentioning, right, guys? Look at Ray's artifacts. This is a total tangent. He only has 1 fully built Tear of Twilight on his entire account. That means he's pulled 6, and then he only has 1 other on the whole account. Look how much more common these Iax's Rages are. He's had to max out 3 different White Tower trinkets. Just some accounts have certain kind of luck somewhere, but are lacking certain kind of luck in other places. I'm sure Ray's really loving me pointing out this total deficiency of his account. But there we go. Twin Fiend will wear Iax's Rage, now called Heaven's Rage. I love the renames. It really made the game a lot of fun. Really totally changed the whole experience. And then, of course, the beautiful Anai, wherever she did go. Let's go find her now so we can see the final build. She will be wearing the fully built up Tear of Twilight. You can see here she is not fully skilled up. I'm not going to make Ray, you know, he's being generous enough already. We're not going to spend his skill crystals or any of this legendary skill dust on Anai. But I think this is going to give a very realistic depiction of how almost anyone would build her, but with amazing gear. But very few people will get Awakenings into her. She's currently A0. If you guys want, I'm getting new gear on the test server next week, and I actually did just pull an extra copy of Anai on the test server, which I wanted 2 copies so then I can keep 1 at A0, and then I can use my Soul Stones to make another one A1 and then A5. We can do a full breakdown if people still want that. But honestly, I've been putting out so much content that I think is definitively proving she is decidedly meh, just mid. But if you still want it, I'll do it next week, no problem. There you go. She's A0. This is probably what many people will be coming out of this weekend when they pull for Eloin and they have to settle for A0 Anai. Does she get a lot better at A1? She does. The magic res reduction is nice. It's 15%. This leads to a improvement in damage, but it is not what you think it is. It's not the same as like vulnerability or some kind of penetration or something, where it's just going to be a straight up like 1.15x multiplier. From my testing, I did it with Virna back in the day when I pulled my A1 Virna. I compared A0 Virna to A1 Virna because she does the same 15% magic res, or maybe for Virna actually it's 10%. Let me contrast that very quickly. Let's see here. Virna has got 10%. All right, so I remembered that at the last second, thank God. But it was marginal. It wasn't like a 10% increase in damage, but it's solid. And, you know, if you have lots of magic damage dealers or lots of burn heroes, burn is magic style damage. It's a magic type damage. So it could improve. So she'll be better at A1. Certainly not game changing and certainly not meta changing, like someone said in my comments. A5, maybe she could really start singing. She's going to get a 10% extra chance to land burning from her basic attack. She currently has a 20% from the talent, 30%, you know, that's 50% better, going from 20 to 30. And then also her burns are going to have an increased duration. That will help a lot, encouraging uptime. You'll see here, currently, it's not going to show you. Of course it's not. Let's go to her skills. Sometimes it just gives an explanation. Sometimes it actually breaks it down for you. Where are you going to break it down for me? Come on. There you go. 5 seconds. So it's 5 seconds. It goes up to 7 seconds, which is like the juiced up version of burning, like what Arrogance has. That's really nice because it kind of, it's going to extend essentially the uptime of her burning since she's perpetuating them during her ult. And then, of course, there's less downtime between the burnings popping off, falling off that she placed on them, and then her ult triggering again. Her ult's how she's going to get a lot of burning out. Guys, if you have an idea on a good way to test this, let me know. But essentially, from all the testing I've done so far, it seems that there is a stack cap of 8 burnings. You cannot place more than 8 burnings, at least on the guild boss. I was speaking with Pink Jesus for a while, trying to think of a way that we could test it, but it is really hard because you don't know where it's coming from. You're not really going to get 8 just from one hero, at least not the way Anai is designed now, so you have to bring a whole burning team. It's really hard to, even in slow-mo like we tried, to see all the ticks. So all in all, I think there is an unspoken cap. So people have talked a lot about, like, couldn't she just endlessly stack burning if you kept using Laurel and something? She could keep a near endless uptime with Laurel, but it's not going to be like infinite burns like people are envisioning, unless there's something I'm missing or there's a way we could test it. That's also something we could look into. But for now, she is so mediocre, as you are going to see right about now. She's not bad. She is serviceable. She is Anai the serviceable. She's a solid C hero. She is a C. There you go. So those are the skills you see. We've got level 3 on the auto ultimate, basics at level 3. They spread really well, which is nice. We got a slightly improved trigger chance here with the chance to get extra rage. So that's at level 2, and this is also level 2. Every burning is going to give a little boost to attack and crit damage. So there you have it. That is Anai. She's in truly glorious gear. You can see only 74k BP. That's because she's not A5 and she's not glowing like Ray's Hotsit, but this gear is gorgeous. I mean, let's look at the full stats before we get into it. 16k attack, my sweet Jesus. 1.4 attack interval, 440 attack speed, crit capped with nearly 400% crit damage, and then there's the base regen auto. She's fantastic, right? Or at least this build, she is not fantastic. This build on her is fantastic. It's not going to get much better than this. Ray has been farming about 200 to 500 runs of Gear Aid a day, every day for 400 days. So this is about as good as your gear will ever get, and for many, many of us, probably me included, our gear will never get this good. Maybe you can gear one hero like this, but he's geared everyone like this. This is a tremendous account. So we're really testing her at her max capability with this situation, with A0 and not fully max skilled. But let me tell you something, no one is going to fully max skill her unless somehow they're a bigger, Kraken than Ray is. She's not a top priority unit, at least for right now. Maybe someone will discover something insane. Maybe they'll buff her. Maybe there'll be some new content. But for now, she will never be max skill. And yes, you may eventually get Awakenings. I'm sure she will have a high drop rate since she's not a very good hero. But I think this is a great way to test her. So we're going to compare this to A5 Imani. While Imani is A5 and this is only A0, you're going to probably, for many people, have an A5 Imani around the time you pull one of these. I mean, it's all random when you pull them, but it's not so crazy. Imani's on the banner. She's been out forever. Everyone I know that's been playing for a while has her at least A3, which is what actually matters, and many, many, many people have her A5. She's got a fairly normal drop rate, a very common hero, and what makes her so good, besides just being a great hero, is she's an epic, so you can max skill her, right? You can easily max skill any epic you are interested in. You eventually can awaken her if you want to use awakening, epic awakening stones, epic soul stones. You could easily do that. I put one soul stone in Imani way back in the day. The first soul stone I think I ever used, and she was my first 6-star champion. You are going to want to get your Imani A1. No, I did it to get Imani. No, I never did want an Imani. Actually, now I think about it. No one cares about that. Let's actually get into the battle. We're going to start off with Anai. You might notice here, we are using Hollow, so a very conventional Rage Regen team, but we're not doing any Rage Regen craziness. No Rage Regen acrobatics. I'm going for what I'd like to call a conventional comp, a conventional team composition. So it's not like we're pairing Hollow with Leia or getting Hollow and Laurel. Power to you if you want to do that. Maybe you could squeeze out some more damage. Like I know Dan Heilman got some very solid numbers out of Anai using Leia with Hollow. However, even with that, she was still outclassed by everyone else there. And you're going to see that right now. She's so mid. If you need a third Infernal DPS, you shouldn't hope for her, but if you get her and you need one, she'll work. And that's what you're about to see right now. So let's hop into the battle. I'll talk you through all the battles, I think. Maybe we'll go slightly long, but this way you'll get to see absolutely everything. Also, it can be it might take you a couple tries, but you'll get kind of a mini guide on how to use Imani, because she is very good in Guild Boss, especially for people that don't have proper endgame accounts or haven't been lucky with their Infernals, but she's trickier to use. So we'll see that in a second, but for now, let's hop into this battle with our conventional Infernal team, our traditional Rage Regen comp featuring Hollow, a little bit of Aracha to boost our Silas, and then some lovely Arrogance. I'm literally just including him to make sure we get plenty burns. We don't need him at all. We could do much better by fitting someone else in here. We could bring Laurel in here. We could bring Leia in here. But by bringing Arrogance, we're really going to hopefully let Anai shine in a traditional comp by letting there be more burning, right? That's how she's entirely built. All right, let's hop into battle and see what we can't do. Baby! All right. As we load, Belial waits for us. That's his name, right? Belial the Dragon. Did I make that up? I feel like his name's Belial. Did I make that up? All right, let's go really quick. I did this a lot last night. I streamed many, many tests if you guys want to see that. There's like a 3-hour stream of me doing tons of tests with Anai and other Infernals. Let's try to get all our Infernal units down first. So when we trigger Twin Fiend, he's really ready. Here comes Siley Boy, and there goes you, Miss Hollow, and here you go. And let's trigger Twin Fiend off to the races. So yeah, I'm going to do like the traditional comp you always see me do, or if you watch my stuff, you might be used to seeing me do. I'll do other things occasionally, but this is what I think is a very straightforward strategy I've highlighted a lot in the past that I know many people employ to get their 20k plus, and for good teams, like you're going to see here, to get that 50k. So we'll go here. We're basically going to time it all around the first shield. This team would be a lot better with Setram instead of Anai, as you can go and see from the tests I did last night. So let's wait. We go slightly early on our Twin Fiend. Here he goes. And before 2 o'clock, we want to trigger. It really just matters with Hex and Seal 2, but we'll go down the line, throw it back on 2x, pop that shield like it's absolutely nothing. The absolute balloon pops off. Let's load it up. We're getting ready with Hollow to trigger this Rage Regen. You can try to keep an eye on these burns, but you're going to see, unless I'm missing something from my hours of testing last night, you are not going to see more than 8 stacks at any point. Let's actually pause it so you can see. It looks like there's about 4 there. I guess at one point I can just click and show you like that. But yeah, just keep an eye for it. It might be easier for you guys to just pause the video in the future. We will go for an extra trigger here from Twin Fiend. No reason not to. It will line up well. We'll wait on Dolores. We'll just do the 1 bonus with her. All right, let's 1x this. About time. I'm going to wait for Twin Fiend. Probably trigger Seal 2 slightly early right now. Now we'll do Twin Fiend into Hex, into Silas. Wait 1 second for Dolores. So here we go. We'll get some burns out. Whenever Anai pops off, you'll see here she comes. A nice stack. So there we've got 6. The highest I've ever seen it go is 8, guys. My thinking is it might be akin to other gacha games. Like if you ever played Raid Shadow Legends, I really think we need to find a way to test this. You can only get up to 10 debuffs. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But that really hampers something like with Anai, where people did have an interesting thought. You could just stack burns immediately if you kept her ult going over and over and over and over again, right? If you ran her with Elowen and with Hollow and with Laurel, or if you just had a very well teamed like Hollow and Laurel comp, you could certainly do that. I don't think it's possible. At least visually, it certainly does not come off as possible. Who knows? Maybe they're hidden back away somewhere. If anyone has an idea of how we can test it, we should totally do that. Just let me know and I will do it. We're sprucing up the test server account a ton right now. It won't look like Ray's account, but it will have tons more options for me, so I don't have to keep hopping in here. Yeah, I've been working on Pink Jesus is helping me a lot, so shout out to Pink. Right, there's a nice trigger. Here we go. Promotion. We'll wait on the next. We're not going to trigger Dolores again. We're not going to trigger Twin again. I'll do the exact same thing when we do it with Imani. just to give us perfect control and to make sure everything lines up well for the third shield. Let's wait, let's wait. Here comes the first meteorite. We probably could squeeze it in with Twin Fiend, but it's a close call, and I just want it to be silky smooth. As long as we're consistent between the two runs, that's what's really important. Let's trigger Hollow to make sure Hex can catch up a little bit. Hex is actually, because he has his A3, he keeps continuing his ult when the burns are on the target, so it's hard to line him up perfectly. Let's wait a second for Hex. All right, let's go. Let's get for that Pyrus o'clock. Let's go. All right, off to the races. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you want to pause it here and let me know in the comments how much damage you think she's going to do, you can let me know. I think people that are high on her might be pretty darn surprised, though, unfortunately. And I can say that with confidence because I've tested this a lot for hours and hours. I think yesterday I spent 5 hours playing around with these different comps between my prep for my video, filming my video, and then streaming. It was a lot. Maybe 6 hours now that I think about it. All right, let's wait. We're going to stop at 3 seconds. Remember that, guys? Let's go. Let's go. We will do those instant triggers with Silas and Dolores. It makes it a lot easier to time it out at the end, as I don't want to risk wasting the rune. Again, the only thing that matters the most here is consistency. We're down under 20 seconds now. Here comes Hex. Let's 1x this. There's Twin Fiend lining up really nicely. One last blast. One last blast for the road, baby. There you go. 4 and 3. Click right as it hits 3. We'll quit the battle, and you can see we didn't even get to 50k. How sad. How sad. I will say, I presume Zealot2 is still not in very good gear. I didn't want to move any more of, I didn't want to move any more of Ray's gear around than I had to. He currently has Zealot2's gear off on someone else. I don't know why. Ray can explain in the comments if he wants. But there you have it, man. 52 million. Actually, about exactly the same as I got with her in this comp last night. Half of what Silas can do. And this is like further. The disparity would only grow if we ran a more boosted comp. You know, the higher damage dealers do more damage. You wouldn't line up the damage increase the same way with her burns, or at least not as consistently. She's not bad. No one's saying she's bad, but you'd be lying to say she is good. You know, I'll show you Zealot2's gear. Zealot2 is putting up, granted, Zealot2 is the queen, right? But this is a 79.4. That's a solid 27.4 million more, a little less than 27.4 million. And you're going to see the gear that Anai has is probably some of the best gear on a hero you guys have ever seen. Maybe it's the best gear you could possibly build on one hero on your entire account. It is cracked out, and you see the gear Zealot2's in. You're gonna be, it just shows you how freaking weak this hero is. I mean, Twin Fiend was almost catching her. Twin Fiend, obviously not known for being a DPS, a completely off-faction arrogance in a random build we threw on him. He's, you know, fairly close. I mean, it's not horrible. It's only serviceable. That's what it is. So there you have it. Yeah, let's just show you one more time. 52 million. Let's click out. Let me show you Zealot2's gear. Should have warned you guys beforehand probably, but I'll explain it right now. Let's hop into the fight, hold down Zealot2 real quick, and then from there we can go straight into Imani, and I'll show you what she's working with. So you can see totally random build on Zealot2. It's not horrible, but like, what is this attack, right? 11.4, the attack speed under 300. That's crazy for an account like this. He put random gear on her. I think maybe Ray did this to boost her BP, potentially. Let's see what her BP's at. It's possible he did it to boost her BP, because I know he's making a huge Tide push. He wants to be the first player ever in Forerunner or Global or anything, first player ever to get to Tide 160, meaning he's the first person to get Volca A5. But there you go. This Zealot2 build, I mean, the crit damage is very nice, but this build vastly outdid Anai, and that kind of shows you, right? So let's show you right now what Imani can do. Maybe you can pause it, let me know predictions for Imani in the comments. Let's pop that girl in here. Sort by Infernal Mages. There she is, our A5 Imani. Obviously, she's max skill, because any epic you will eventually max skill that you use. You get more than enough skill crystals and epic skill dust. You can see we're just going to take that Tear Twilight from Anai, put it right onto Imani, keep it consistent, and you'll see for her gear, Imani does not need what makes Imani so special. I just did a full breakdown on her this morning. This will probably come out the next day. This will come out on Friday. But you can see here with her passive, when it's fully skilled up, when deployed, increases attack by 20%, crit rate by 25%, crit damage by 30% for 25 seconds. Her ult over here lasts for 30.5 seconds. So basically almost the entire duration of her ult, she will be crit capped. and if you only built her with 75% crit. So I really leaned into that build here. We put her at 76%. When I did the runs with her yesterday, I didn't really do her justice. I wanted to do her justice now. You can see it's comparable gear. She's only at 65.8k BP. It's some good stuff. She also has supremely high crit damage, just like Anai. I think Anai was at 390%. Here we're at 395.5%. Almost, I think maybe the exact same attack interval at 1.4 seconds. They both started at 2.6, got around 400, got the minus 1.2 to 1.4. I think that's very fair. We're going Infernal Roar because the way Imani works, especially if you're going to use her properly, you're going to get her a 3. Her revival time's reduced by 25. You run her with Volca, so 60 is her basic, minus 25. Now her revival time is 35%, but you're running her with Volca, so you're taking off about 8.5 seconds, 8.5 to 9 seconds, right? So what would that be? 35. So it'd be about 26.5 seconds it takes till you can revive her. So basically, you're going to keep putting her down. When the ult finishes, you pick her up because you want to take full advantage of all the amazing things that come with her kit when she's immediately placed down. When she's skilled up, her skill costs 1100, but when you place her, her initial cost is 1000, so you can trigger her right away, essentially. She starts at like 92%. Here, after her first initial hit, she's going to get a 10-second, 20% attack boost. That is on top of this 20-second deployment boost, 25-second deployment boost, excuse me, where you get another 20% attack increase. You get that crit rate we discussed and that crit damage we discussed. So Imani, trickier to use. This, hopefully this only, I get it on my first try. I practiced it a lot yesterday on stream, but it's a much harder timing thing to do. But if you can nail it, you're going to see the damage is pretty darn close to what you just saw and a lot easier to get there. A lot easier, especially when it comes down to you don't have this amazing Soulbound Arcana, you don't have this amazing Infernal Roar, but you can probably get someone with a pretty nice DPS build when you only need 75% crit rate. She's so much more usable. She's just so much better. Until there's some other reason, especially if Anai does not have Awakenings, Imani is just so much better. Let's find out. Let's see what damage. At worst, it's going to be very close. I'll tell you that right now. We'll stick with our silly Zeala 2 build for the BP or whatever that's about. We'll run the exact same comp. Let's hop in there. So we're going to be pretty quick with it. Let's wait. All right, we'll do Twin Fiend first again. We'll put Imani in the exact same spot. We'll put Hex down here. Put Silly down here. Everything else will be exactly the same, right? I'm going to perfectly replicate this run. I practiced it so much on stream yesterday just for this moment. This moment I didn't even know I was going to do. I practiced it for, huh? There we go. Now Imani, about ready. Let's trigger. Everything else we wait, except for Hollow. Can 2x it. So normally the second Imani's ult ends, I would pick her up. However, we do want to, when we trigger Twin Fiend's ult, when the shield comes up, we want that to have triggered once Imani was already still on the field. Then, at least from my testing, it seems you can still pick her back up and it still counts as a third DPS having been out there. But even though her ult's about to end now, I'm not going to pick her up until I've already triggered Twin Fiend with her on the field. So you'll see, we'll go Twin Fiend, we'll go Zeala 2, we'll pick up Imani, we'll go Hex. I think I just got it. Yes, we did. Okay, great start. We'll go Silas, we'll go Dolores. There you go. And look at Imani. She started at about, what did I say, 25, 26 seconds. Easy peasy. Or 26, 27, I should say. Get ready to trigger a Hollow. And look at that. Imani's going to be ready for another ult. And she's going to be ready with her ult for Twin Fiend. That's how well she freaking works. So we'll put her down. We're going to wait on this Twin Fiend trigger until Imani's close to ready. She is, just to make sure they line up. Absolutely perfect. Wow, I really hope I nail this on my first try. If we one take this whole video, I'm going to be pretty impressed with myself, if I can be honest. Nice. Look at Imani. That's some nice damage, man. That is some very nice damage. So the second this ult ends, we can get one more trigger of Twin Fiend to line up with Imani's ult at least. And the second her ult ends, it's going to be at like 24%. Let's see. 21%. All right, we pick her up. We're good. Now we hold the rest except for Hollow until the next shield. We let Imani revive, rinse and repeat. Here it comes. We're slightly off here because of the delays. Doesn't matter. We can 1x this. Let's wait the second the shield comes up. All right, we'll do a trigger. We have to wait for Imani for Twin Fiend. I could have waited like 2 seconds longer. We can certainly trigger Silas and Dolores. Let's get Imani down. Yeah, so slightly late there. Let's wait till she's at about 94%. We'll still make it. You'll see. It's tight, but we'll make it. Oh no, she's locked out. All right, let me run it back. All right, so we're going to pick it up right now at the start of the third shield. So let's get Twin, let's get you, let's get Hex. First shield, I should say. So you can see, I fast forward through the other part, but you can catch this now. We can pick up Imani, we can go Silas, we can go Dolores. Perfect timing between Dolores and Twin Fiend, excellent. Now we wait for Imani, we wait for Hollow. Yeah, the Imani timings are very tight, so it will take practice. I've only practiced it like one night, but it's worth it because she's super easy to use. Like it should be easy to build, I'd say, and she puts out some real damage. So let's go, excellent. Let's get another Dolores trigger, come on top of it, let's go, baby. Should be able to get one more Twin trigger very, very quickly. There we go. Come on, Imani, we gotta pick you up, honey. Excellent, let's trigger Hollow. Right, so this is where it gets, the timing's much harder than it was, I will say. So we have to wait. Wait till Imani's at about 4 seconds, and then we'll do the whole thing. Oh, we can already do Silas and Dolores. All right, now let's go. Let's go. Perfect. All right, I wish I could half exit. It's so tight. Let's go. Wait till she's about 95%. We'll still make it, as long as I don't lock her out next time by being over antsy. There's Imani. Excellent. The damage is damaging. Let's get ready with Hollow. We're gonna need her. Excellent. All right, let's 2x this. Let's get one more Twin Fiend ready. Oh, that was quick. He must have gotten a heal from Hollow. Let's see where we are. Oh yeah, and then we're gonna hold Dolores here like we did last time. Let's get ready to pick up Imani. Let's just wait till Twin Fiend finishes his ult, actually. There you go. Great. Timing. All right, perfect. The 20 seconds, this is all going to line up great. The only thing that's going to throw us off here is Hex, but I'm used to that. Such is life. With those burn extensions, once you have him A3 or higher, it's a great thing, but when it comes to timings, it's a lot tighter. All right, just feeling this out. All right, getting ready for Imani. Really wish I could half X this. Come on. All right, here she goes. Let's wait for it. All right, we can trigger, come on. Great. So Hex is gonna get the tail end now, so he'll miss the beginning of the first ult. It doesn't matter that he's locked out there, we can just hammer away at him. Come on, buddy. Yes, as soon as that animation ends, so we'll definitely get him on the next one. Looking very good. Let's get ready with Hollow. Sorry, honestly, guys, I'm mostly talking to myself just to make sure I don't mess stuff up, because it's a tough coordination. Lots of clicking. Ooh, let's get Dolores. So remember, we're going to finish exactly at 3 seconds again. So look at that. The damage is looking almost identical. Let's get ready with Twin Fiend. All right, it's going to time out really well together. Just waiting for Dolores here. All right, let's trigger. Hex is running a little slow, but you know, such is life. Dolores is running a little slow, also such is life. Let's wait. All right, perfect. So getting to the very tail end here, and look at that. Very, very comparable blood. Hex is locked out. So even with the slightly suboptimal things I did, let's wait for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. You can see, look at that. We were at 48,000 blood. Now we're at 49,000 blood. Now we're going to find out when we look at the statistics, did that discrepancy come from some other random potential variables, maybe with the card's hex drew or something like that? Or did it come from Imani? Who knows? But regardless, at worst, she was a perfect substitution. At best, she might have been better. So let's see. And she was, right? So there you go. So before you light up the comments, I told you this is a realistic situation. It's a godly build, right? But Anai was not fully skilled out. She was A0, which is the way almost everyone will have her when they get her. Some people eventually will get Awakenings. No one is max skilling this girl, because here's Imani, 100 times easier to build, right? She's an epic. You can build her with less crit. She's fun. You can awaken her with soul stones that you'll easily get from the guild boss. It's nothing like getting those legendary soul stones. And look at that. She beat her by over 1.5 million. So 1.5 million, is that within like a tiny margin of error? potentially, but at worst, I said she's as good, right? So you can talk about how you're going to get your Anai A5 and she's going to be meta changing, but I'm going to tell you, you're just wrong. You're just freaking wrong, dude. You're wrong. So there you go. I hope this was, let's look at this as a positive. Imani's really good. She was my first 6-star ever. She's on my banner. She will be on my banner forever on my YouTube channel. I love her. She's probably, if not my favorite, one of like my 3 or 4 favorite heroes in all of Watcher Realms. And the girl slaps, baby. She slaps. Let's go. 53.8 mil. Ain't nothing to sneeze at. Were there imperfections in this comp? Absolutely. But did we put up a darn big number with the silly Zilla 2 and some other wackiness? We absolutely did. And did Imani hold her own easily? Is there any world you should go for a 10x hero if you already have Elwyn, and that's not an issue? If you go for Elwyn, go for Elwyn. Elwyn's a god, a goddess, right? But should you be pulling on this 10x for Anai? Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Don't even pull on it for Imani. You'll get her. She's an epic hero, and she absolutely slaps. Much better, honestly. When it comes to like the ease of use, when it comes to the fun of use, when it comes to how comfortable she is to build with the lower crit requirement, it is night and day. Not everyone's going to have Ray's gear. It was actually hard for me to find great pieces of gear and still keep her crit low. I might have even been able to get a better build if I crit capped her, but I wanted to show her with a low crit build to show how she works with her kit. Imani slaps. She slaps. Thank you so much, Ray, for letting us use this account, letting me highlight my girl Imani. I really hope this is case closed, but like I said, if people want a touch more Anai content next week with Awakenings, we can certainly do it. I'm going to be honest, Mr. Ribbit, I sincerely think I deserve an apology. Can you go home at night and feel comfy thinking you won because you trolled me and then I reacted? Sure, but my reaction was putting out some bomb-ass content. So who's the real winner here? Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Ray. If you like my stuff, like it. Get in the comments. You can throw some eyes in the comments for Imani because I absolutely love this girl. I for Imani, baby. Subscribe. Share it with your mother. Never question the depths of my dives. And I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.